Hello everybody and welcome back to Hardcore Heroes. So, we are here in the capital. It is Yule time, and there's a lot to do, actually. I mean, I know it's a little bit of a downtime moment here, but there's a lot going on. You gotta complete this spell, figure out what you need. You gotta get any other components. You gotta have to build some things to hold these crystals. You gotta gather clerics here to cast everything. You've taken, I don't know, what it's been like, almost a year now of discovering and learning and doing all of this stuff. And now that we're in the final stages, there's a little bit more time that needs to be invested.
Yep.
So I think the next step is to build this spell.
Yeah. Don't forget, we also do need to think about the underwater bit.
Yeah.
So someone's going to have to investigate the coast underwater.
That's true. We do have, clerics can cast water breathing and water walking, so we can figure something out there.
Yeah, we can figure something out, but we've got to get people in position.
The really hard part there is we're going to have to build taller spires there because we need the wall to be tall at that point, because we need it to go all the way through the water.
Do we, or can it not just go on the surface? Or go on the seabed?
Well, they could swim over it potentially then.
No, but there'd be a barrier, right?
Oh, so the barrier just goes up in indiscriminate
amount of height. It's not like they can jump over it, right?
It's going to be like a dome over an area.
That's perfect then.
So what I mean is, we need to work out how far the flesh extends beyond the coast. And we can probably work that, once we're there.
Or with scrying spells from here.
That's a good point.
Probably safer to do it that way. But for now, I think we have to start with researching the spell.
Okay, I think this is you for now, and then I've got a couple of other things to do. But
yeah, so this is probably like a cooperative venture between Eliza and Van. I think we're going to work on this one together. And I'll pull in some funds from our estate to make this one happen. How much is it again per spell? It's like you roll, and then it's a certain amount of gold per spell level or something. I think it's like 1d10 times 100 gold per spell level.
To make a new spell?
To make a new spell, yeah. Treasure tables, magical items, magic. Expanding schools? No. Spell research. I love how detailed the process of researching spells is in this book. Like how many words they waste on not really saying anything. Here we go. Oh, they don't actually say. That's great.
Is there not a set gold cost?
Oh, no. Never, I found it. Yeah, 1d10 times 100 per spell level.
Okay.
Let's do 1d10 per spell level here as well. So I'll do 5d10 times 100. Yeah. 5d10 times 100. So this me 2,800 to do this total.
Oof.
But we're splitting funds, so that's okay. I think I spent 3,000 on Greater Tree, so I think I'm actually spending less to make the world-saving spell.
So let's talk about it then. What level spell is it going to be?
Well, I assumed it was 5. We could take some gold off. I don't think it's very much if it's level 4. Yeah, if it's level 4, it'd be 2,500.
Okay.
But it's one of those two. I think we're gonna have to figure it out because the only thing we found that was like a match to what we had in mind was a quest spell.
Oh, right.
So we don't really know what level to make this thing, and it's more complicated by the fact that it's a cooperative casting thing, and that's just gonna add more of a what does that mean to it?
Right.
We had the idea that you had to have one primary caster with the spell, and then other clerics could basically like meld with them to support their spell casting. It's not like, yeah.
So we need, it's like a quest spell style thing. One main caster.
Yep. One main caster per node.
Per node, okay.
And then
all nodes must cast at the same time. And what else do we need?
Trying to look at quest spells. What book were they in again? Was it Tome of Magic?
Tome of Magic.
Okay. Here we go. So they're in the introduction of the book is the explanatory notes.
Mm-hmm.
According to this.
And Nick, do feel free to weigh in on all of this stuff. I know you're not a cleric, but we're not gonna leave you out of the game for an hour.
Yeah,
right.
It sounds like quest spells are intended to be either quest starters or like basically when the gods are like, okay, we got to give you a little bit of added power so that you can unfuck the world a little bit here. Mm-hmm. And that sounds like this situation.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this is in the vein of that.
Mm-hmm. Depends how it's even being cast. Like maybe all the clerics just have to be there at the nodes, and Van casts the spell at the middle of it, and it just channels through everyone.
Well, Van can't cast at the middle because the middle is a demon town.
Yeah, we're making.
Okay,
I think it's just one per. I'm going off what we talked about before, which was the idea of doing one per node.
Mm-hmm.
It's just if it does end up being level 5, we are going to need a lot of clerics. Either a lot of ones that can cast Uplift. So that means then we're going to need
Uplift
16 level 7
doable.
clerics.
Which is, I think, more feasible.
Maybe.
16 level 7 clerics? That would...
If it's a level 5 spell, we're going to need...
You need to import clerics from around the world for that.
So we'd have to go
combination
through
of
Solemn at that point.
Level 9s / levels.
Let's
level
see
7s.
what the quest spells say in terms of how strong you have to be to cast them, because that's one thing I'm wondering.
I think they're available to clerics of any level. I think it's just
well,
rarely
that's what I'm saying. If it's
out.
a quest spell, then is it not just Van casting it? Like he prays, he gets the quest spell, he casts the spell, and all the other clerics are just part of.
That's where I'm
channeling
kind of
it.
confused. Pre-spells, quest spells. What was ours called? It was like the...
I think we're basing it off of barrier of
Ward
retention
Matrix.
or something. Ward matrix.
Ward Matrix, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, is that that's one of the quest spells?
Yeah, because you make there are like different nodes, and then it spreads to each node once the spell's been cast. So, true scene or similar spells, tendrils of magical energy. They can evade barriers such as anti-magic shells by moving above or around them. Showing the word / words. Okay. $40 miles per turn.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just kind of weird because quest spells are like this odd thing. And I'm not sure how powerful people need to be to cast them.
I don't think there is a level requirement to cast them. I think they're just like, they are above and beyond 7th level cleric spells, and they just get given to those who need them. They sure are.
Okay. Yeah, so maybe we just appoint the strongest clerics that we have on hand as like the primary people to like memorize these spells.
Okay.
And then they're supported by all the weaker ones. I think the idea of pulling all the clerics together to cooperatively cast this is more important than
the specifics of the
Yeah,
levels
than
of each
specific
one of the
numbers.
clerics.
Yeah.
So, maybe we just, rather than having like, oh, we need X over a certain level, maybe we just
It's
need
just
like
it's the
at
idea
least
that we're
30
congregating the
clerics.
land's clerics together. Because if cleric magic is like the sympathetic version of wizard magic, then it's driven as much by like ideas and thoughts as it is those exact calculations.
Level limitations are important. It is very rare for a priest of lower than 12th level to be granted quest magic. Priests of 9th level or lower cannot use quest magic.
Damn.
The strain of holding and shaping such magic is too great. Are you at least 9th level?
I am 9th level.
Perfect. Priest must possess wisdom of 17 or better.
I have 17 wisdom.
Okay. So it sounds like you're going to need to cast this spell, and then maybe there will be some sort of cooperative channeling of other people.
So I'm like the primary conduit for the spell, and then other people are like channeling it through me. Sort of like we link up, and then everybody goes to their sites to cast it.
Something like that. I think so. Okay.
Okay.
This will work.
If everyone's touching their crystal when you cast the spell, maybe it radiates around the entire ward.
It might be like one casting of one spell when all the crystals are gathered together in one place, then you distribute them and then activate them.
Oh, that could work too.
Yeah, that works. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, there's other things too when the clerics get here. I want to talk about like us getting tons of like shrubbery together that we can throw in front so that we can cast entangle spells to stop a demon advance and stuff like that.
Will that work? I guess so.
Maybe.
All right, you should get the Thought Wave cast ASAP though, because we're going to be waiting around for these clerics.
So we get the details spelt out. So let's get some hard details that we know what we need, and then we're going to send out that Thought Wave.
Are we directing it just to Drakis or to Eridon as well?
I will write out my idea for what I had for the message. It was going to be to all clerics of Arcadia who have not yet received this message. was our target audience.
Yeah, you're cordially invited to Wicthron Renta by Lord Heels.
Oh, that's just who, because the way that you do Thought Wave is I send them like a general like idea of my current state, but I can select in a very general sense who I want to receive it.
Yeah, but what, do you not send a message with it?
There's no message.
It's just like an understanding.
I can send like there's
do.
dire need or something, right? And clerics are getting that, and they'll be like, oh, maybe something big is going down.
Right.
I can read you the spell really fast.
Well, how will they know where to find you?
They'll know my location from the spell.
Oh, okay. All right.
Forming them of this situation and general location.
Yep.
Yeah.
So can I build a teleport circle here, Neal?
In Wicthron Renta?
Yeah. Doesn't have to be in the keep.
So you're talking to the gatekeeper about this, and they're not particularly happy with the notion of an unvetted outsider having instant teleportation access into the capital, into the castle. That seems to be a pretty big security hole. And the gatekeeper's like, well, I don't know,
But
what happens if the spell falls into the wrong hands? Huh? What if someone else learns how to use this magic? All of a sudden we have enemies popping in.
Yes, it's true. Perhaps somewhere outside of the keep then I could use like an attic in a government building somewhere.
That's fine. That'll work. Yeah, we can set you up with that.
All right, thank you. And I hand him a little note that says, please allow this man to construct a teleportation circle, signed Lord Heelsink.
He looks at the note and back at you.
It's from the prince, from Van Helsink.
Yes, of course. Unfortunately, I take my orders from the queen, who slightly outranks the prince.
Yes, no, that's true. But if we're in agreement, you could find me in an attic somewhere or a basement or something.
Of course, we can. There's a grain silo. How about that?
It's
No,
perfect.
that won't work.
Oh, okay.
Oh, it'd be grain in it.
Well, yes, in the rafters or something. I don't know. The basement, the cellar.
The cellar.
Wouldn't the grain just get teleported out?
That's the problem. Yeah.
That's not what we want. Failing that, I'll probably pay some peasant to allow me to do it in their cellar.
Yeah. You can find a slummy district with cheap housing and buy a plot of land.
Okay, sure. I don't need a plot of land.
You can just buy like a house, some cheap house in town.
It's not like you really need to build a house. You're just gonna dig a hole in the ground, right?
Yeah, and I'll spend some time fortifying it. Like I board up the windows and like wizard lock the door.
Okay.
Yeah.
We don't have an exact count of your wealth, right? We've been sort of winging this shit.
No, we got like the big gold infusion, which I guess we're burning only like a fifth of on the spell.
Right.
Amazingly.
So because Van got given like 10 grand for blessing the baby. By the way, is Van's baby like sexy? Is it a sexy baby?
It's
I don't know, Nick.
bad
What do you
choice
think
of
about
words.
babies?
Is it an attractive baby? That's better. Is it, does it look like it's going to be the best looking child that ever did live? Has it got golden flowing locks?
It's bald?
Oh, okay. It's older now, right? It's like older now. It's not when
It's
the baby
like a
gets
couple
there.
months
old, dude.
Oh, okay, I don't know.
Is it a
Don't
sexy
clip that.
baby? It's
Don't
definitely
clip
getting
that.
quoted right now.
Yeah, like I know what he was trying to say, but like you can't fucking say that, dude.
Well, I just said it. See if Neal gets kicked off Twitch. Alright, I'm counting down from 10. 10.
Oh, I'm not the one getting kicked off Twitch.
It's on your channel,
No,
isn't it?
you are hosting him.
Yeah.
I'm not condoning sexy babies.
Oh, there we go. It's in there.
No.
All right. So you can buy a house, board up the windows, sort of lock it down, build your teleportation circle in the basement, put some wizard locks on windows and doors and that sort of stuff.
Okay, at some point I'm going to go to Falstaff's tomb, but do some more with Sean until you feel a need to go do that with me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay, so we're saying there's one person who cast the quest spell, which is me.
Mm-hmm.
So we're researching that. So we have the idea, like we have everything kind of firmly in place. We know that we have enough here to contact all the clerics.
What do you mean, have enough here to contact the clerics?
Well, because we didn't want to contact them until we had like a concrete idea
I see
of
what you're
we were
saying.
working with. Yeah. But we
Okay,
weren't
so
going to
you-
research the whole spell, just enough to know like this is what we're doing. And then we
Right.
could research while sending out the messages.
Sure. Let's talk about before we get any further with contacting clerics, let's talk about the materials that you need, because it's not just like a crystal, right? It's going to need something to hold it and probably something to shelter it from weather. You wouldn't want like, a
And it's probably
windstorm
gonna have
to
to be
blow a
blessed
rock
to make
into
sure that
it.
the demons don't just break it.
Right, so you're going to need like a structure to hold each of the crystals. The crystals are going to need to be gathered and have one spell cast on them initially here.
I'll make the structure to hold the crystals.
Yeah, Nick already plans to do it with fabricate.
Yeah.
And then we have to like shape the crystals as well.
Right, how much can fabricate do?
Well,
How
I've got to
big of a
learn it
thing can you
first.
build?
If I can't learn it, then we're going to have to get it made. So do you want me to roll to see if it's there and if I can learn it first?
Yes, what is the chance of something being
In the library. It's a 70% chance for this spell. So, do I roll it?
yes.
Didn't somebody else have fabricate? Oh no, it's a 5th level spell.
Oh.
Oof.
Okay, I'll have to check the airship for it then.
All right, so there's no fabricate in what's-his-face's, in
Falstaff's
Falstaff's tomb. Okay. So you can head to the airship. Can you
with that?
find the airship?
I can teleport to it.
I think Nick could be able to build the whole thing with fabricate, assuming he gets it.
That's what I've been doing
It's-
before,
It's
Neal.
a cubic
Teleport
yard
to it.
per level.
Have you teleported into the airship before?
Yes.
Okay. So you can teleport to the airship. Give me a... Well, no, if you fail your teleport, if you go too high or too low, you're just going to fall. It's designed for
82 again.
careful stuff. All right. You can
Yeah,
make your way to the airship and see if it's here, which it definitely is. There are... Wait, hold on. What time of the year is this? Oh, this is going to be fun. You arrived at the wizard airship, and I didn't think we were going to get to do this.
Oh boy.
Oh, yeah. No, this is going to be great.
And you get level drained by 5 rays in the first round.
That would be unfortunate. You can't cast spells up here, or nothing aggressive, so...
That's
All
not
right.
a spell.
No, I know.
So
Yeah.
you arrive in the wizard airship, head on down to the library, where you run into Joris, who is talking with this woman with long black hair.
Hey, Joris. What are you doing
He
here?
looks to you and goes, Malachi? What are you doing here?
I was just coming... Well, just doing some research.
Well, I was just doing some research too.
I was planning to come and see you in the next few days. I heard that there was some trouble at Stromheim.
The wizard he's talking to clears her throat and says, "We have business to attend to, you know." And he gives her "Oh, of course, I'm so sorry. Perhaps we can chat another time? I've got important things to deal with. I have to save the queen."
Yeah, sure. Shoot me a message, Joris, if it's you need my help or anything. I'll pop in the next week or so.
No, we're busy. We gotta kill some iron golems, and it's complicated. We need I'll talk to you later. And
You need my help?
All
right.
No. He turns back to the woman with, in her 30s, with long black hair, brown eyes, and she pulls him aside and sort of like gives him a finger wagging and admonishes him, and then reopens a book and like points to it, and they return to a heated conversation.
Remind me, Neal, you're allowed to cast spells up here, just not aggressive ones, right?
Yeah, if you fuck with anyone, the wraiths will come and murder you.
Can I go around the corner and cast invisibility and
yeah, go ahead.
Go and spy on their conversation a little bit?
Sure.
I do that.
All right, you go and cast invisibility, and you can still see yourself.
Ah, shit, doesn't work. All right.
Yeah.
I make sure that other people can see me. Yeah.
It appears that the airship has some sort of anti-invisibility ward placed on it.
Okay, well, I cast Polymorph Self then, and I turn into a spider and eavesdrop that way.
All right, you turn into a spider and crawl on over and listen to them, and they are talking about building a set of amulets out of lead and casting some sort of spell into them. It looks like they are designing magical items, or a magical item.
Any more information that can be gleaned, or?
Really, you'd have to stick around longer. It's a matter of time. So how long do you want to spend as a spider spying on them, and how much time do you want to spend doing your thing?
I mean, I'd listen to them for an hour or something. If that's all I can get in an hour, then I'll...
Yeah, well, at this point in time, they are... it looks like they are trying to figure out the exact pattern that needs to be etched into this lead amulet. And they're going back and forth discussing, like, well, if it arcs this way, no, we should do this. And they're like trying to map out a schematic that would properly allow a flow of magic to go through the amulet. It's one of the more mundane aspects of spell creation, the figuring out the exact pattern you need to etch in the exact way, and then finding the master craftsman to do it. And they're working on the etching pattern right now. They've got all sorts of like papers with notes jostled down on them. You do learn that the woman's name is Serena.
Serena.
Mm-hmm.
Do I get an... Does she seem like Joris' superior?
Superior? No. It seems like he has hired her, or contracted her, or she's doing him a favor. He seems to be the one that has the idea, but she's the one who like actually knows what the fuck is going on. Okay, so superior, like she's a higher level caster than he probably, but he's the one who is ordering the work to be done. Yeah.
All right. I don't get any indication of the situation in Stromheim.
No.
I have a clairvoyance spell memorized, so later on this day I'll cast clairvoyance just above Stromheim and try and see if it is under siege.
It is.
Does it look suspicious in any way, or does it just look...
I mean, it's a city under siege. Of course it's suspicious.
When I look at it, do I feel like, man, I hope those guys win the siege? Or do I think, I hope that Stromheim defends?
I don't know what you mean.
Okay, I'm just trying to work out if I'm charmed or not. So I look at it and feel like, oh, that's bad, Stromheim's being sieged.
Oh yeah, Stromheim is surrounded by an army of undead. It's
undead. I can see it's undead.
Well, you know it's undead, I think, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. I mean, I think, depending on how close you are, you can see skeletons standing in the sunlight. Weapons drawn, unmoving, none of the warriors surrounding the town are moving. There's no camps, there's no campfires, there's no supply stations, there's no water stations, there's no like camp followers or music or tents. It's literally just soldiers and soldiers only. There's no infrastructure to tend to the needs of people. I think it's pretty clear.
It's being built.
Nope.
Okay.
It's just
all right.
Huge swarms, thousands upon thousands of undead.
I go back to research and fabricate. Slightly concerned. If Joris is still here, like the next day, maybe I'll try and talk to him again.
Yeah, he's gonna be here for a few days.
You know, like, can I catch him in like the break room or something like that?
You catch him over at the proverbial wizard water cooler.
Like, away from to eat his sandwiches that he's made, and then like go over there and start chatting to him.
Yeah, you can catch him during a lunch or something.
Joris, how goes your research? I say as I eat a bowl of olives.
Fascinating. I've never made a magical item before. I've never been able to.
Oh, you're making a magical item? Wow.
4 of them.
4? What are they? What are they going to
do? Don't worry about it.
It's fine. You don't need something. Is this?
Yeah.
She your friend?
Well, friend, associate. She's leaving Eridon and needs some money to set up a new whatever.
Outfit. A new outfit.
Yeah.
Is Stromheim okay? I took a look in. It looks like.
Oh no, that place is terrified. It's fucked.
It's fucked.
Yeah.
What? You just leaving it behind?
No. I can't. I'm sorry, Malachi. State secrets and all. I would be betraying the trust of the Queen of Eridon if I told you too much.
I understand, Joris, but I've helped you before. We've helped each other before. If things really are that desperate, I'd hope that you'd come to me, but it's fine. I'll leave you with the secrets for now.
Well, don't worry. We have capable spellcasters and warriors on it. High-level clerics and wizards.
I
mean, it's the Queen of Eridon, right?
What's left
she's got the... Well, she's still got a couple tricks up her sleeve.
I hope so. I'd hate to see the city fall.
Keldon the Diviner is a great and powerful spellcaster, and Father Bronstone, High Cleric of Bellum, is a powerful war cleric. And there's General Mofkers. We've got it under control.
All right, I trust you. You remember my friend Van and I were looking into the demons in Heatstroke. Just to say that our plan is progressing, and we're hoping to install a magical ward to stop them from encroaching any further.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, but I'm sure you've got other things to worry about right now. But I'll give you an update.
Yeah, the large army of undead surrounding the capital and threatening the lives of tens of thousands of people is a little pressing. I think the demons are quietly keeping to themselves and not really a threat.
I don't know about not really a threat, but yeah, they seem to be.
I mean, they haven't done anything since they arrived, right? It's been a year. Maybe they're content.
Yeah, or maybe they're opening a gateway to more of their kind.
Well, you take care of that problem. I'll take care of this problem. I'll see you in the future, I hope.
Meet for a beer later. All right.
Or in the afterlife or something.
Something like that. I shake his hand.
He shakes yours. Takes your bowl of olives and heads back downstairs.
He takes my olives.
Takes your bowl of olives.
Wait, I want to try and sleight of hand this ring of spell turning. I want to shake his hand. No, I don't really.
Okay. Woo!
Yeah, I don't really. It's too much.
Oh,
okay.
Thank God. That was going to get so mad.
I rolled for the fabricate thing. But he can't kill me because the rates have gone. So, how long does it take me to dig out fabricate?
You can find fabricate. Oh, in only a day. Wow. Lucky roll.
All right, I'm going to roll to learn.
Okay.
Passed. All right. So
excellent. And it'll take you... What's level spell?
5.
5, so roll me 5d2.
Okay.
For how many days it takes to learn. 9. Okay,
days.
so you're up here for like 10 days or so.
Okay.
All right, let's flip back to Van down below.
Yeah, with our details relatively worked out, I think we're going to start sending out thought waves to all the clerics of Eridon. So I have the target written down, Neal, as to all clerics of Arcadia who have not yet received this message.
Got it. Got it.
And we're going to inform them of our general situation and mental state. So I think Van is going to be, dire need for mental state, and it's going to inform them like solution to demon problem. Help, 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 help.
Cannot be projected outside of the plane, occupied by the caster.
Technically, I guess if some clerics have left Arcadia, they'll get it too.
Mm-hmm.
Because of how Thought Wave works. But
right.
Most are probably still in Arcadia, and it's fine if one in Solemn gets it. Maybe they'll go out of their way to make the journey.
Right, but it goes to the closest people first. So
yeah, so we're gonna be casting this. I can do it twice per day, and then Eliza, I don't know what level she is, but she can do it her number of spell slots times 2 because I can nap her, or she can do it herself probably.
Okay. Perfect.
And we can do up to 10 people at a time, right? Yeah, 10
something like that.
People. So each casting, I can do 2 per day. How is she level 9 or is she like level 10 or something?
I think she's level 9.
Okay, so we can do 4 times per day. So 40 clerics per day for this casting.
Okay, now if you send this out to all clerics of Arcadia, you're going to get swarmed by a bunch of first level nobodies, right? You're going to get
that's
all the adventurers
that's
in
fine.
the area.
Okay, because the first level clerics can still cast like Entangle and Protection from Evil, right? Like we need a lot of people to guard the site. My goal is to not fight the demons at all, right? And I actually had some plans here. I'll talk about this with Eliza first and see what she thinks.
So her one concern, her major concern, is what if all of these like low-level clerics show up, and then while they're here helping you, like everything goes to hell back home where they are. Like you'd be taking all the clerics out of this area. You'd be draining it of supportive spellcasters, religious leaders, healers, that sort of thing. So her concern.
Do you think we should leave some of the less prominent ones behind and only take the more powerful clerics?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I think that's fine.
Maybe people who aren't in positions of like civic leadership.
I mean, you're in a position of civic leadership.
Yes.
Most probably are. I imagine most clerics don't travel the world like myself.
Mm-hmm. But people like you would be the best ones. Those that are.
But how many people like me are powerful enough for this task?
I don't know. How could we call those people, though? How could we narrow the scope of our spell?
What's a way that we could accurately define more powerful magics?
What's a spell that all clerics can cast that's like a level 3 spell or something?
Ooh.
Is there an all sphere? I don't think
there is an all sphere.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah, it was introduced in the Spells and Magic.
Yeah, cool. Then if we can get something from the all sphere,
all clerics are able to cast whatever it is.
Well, we could go for Sanctify/Defile is a 2nd level spell. So that means that all the 1st and 2nd level clerics get left behind, which is perfect.
Yeah, level 3 is probably good enough.
Universal Magic. Oh no, that's for wizards.
Yeah, there's not many all spells. Uplift is one of them, interestingly.
Really? So Uplift. That's what
Uplift is a 4th level spell for some spheres, but everybody gets it at 5th level spell if you don't get it at 4th.
Yeah, so Dispel Magic is a 3rd level spell that all priests can get.
There you go.
Sanctify/Defile also does it.
Sanctify Defile, yep.
Which is probably perfect because we don't want the 1st and 2nd level clerics, but instead everybody level 3 and beyond gets the message.
Maybe level 5 is better though.
I think I want some of the weak. Okay, so I want some of the weaker clerics there because I want a bunch of people who can throw out like entangles and protection from evil. Because I want us to have like I want to create massive amounts of barriers to give us enough time to cast the spells so that nobody has to fight any demons.
Yeah, I get it. I do get it, but like, I think if we could have like 30 level 5 clerics, it's probably better than 100 level 3 clerics. just in terms of like.
Well, yeah,
fucking
but
over the world
ideally
like
they're
Neal was
all
saying.
going to. Ideally, this isn't going to make less high level ones show up. It'll just make more low level ones show up.
The idea is to defend the
The
crystals,
sites
right?
where we're putting up the crystals until they're installed.
Well, we'll need not just clerics for that too, but also
warriors, yeah.
warriors.
I'll speak to the queen about this. We can requisition knights for the job, but the fewer people we can take for this, the better, because the more people we lose, the more powerful the demons become.
Yeah, so that's why start using Dispel Magic. Like, see how many level 5s we can get.
Is there
If we need
anything?
more.
The world tends to have groups of people that travel. You and your friend Malachi, for example, have traveled together for years and have had other companions that you travel with, right?
Yes.
Is there anything to gathering these traveling groups, the ones that are prone to combat, who are experts in warfare? A cleric brought from a small backwater town with spells might have the magics, but maybe not the combat discipline or equipment
we could get
to battle.
some seasoned adventurers. Unfortunately, some of the more powerful ones I've known have not survived to this day.
Yes.
I have Darf here. He does have some experience leading. He's a bit headstrong, but he could probably organize a small militia. So he's one candidate. But yes, we could contact some other adventurers.
What if we contact powerful clerics with allies and let them build their own battles or parties to defend these things? You know, distribute responsibility to those with power who show up.
Okay. So
Is that plausible?
we should focus on clerics who can focus then.
So clerics that can cast Dispel Magic that also have...
Clerics with leadership skills, clerics with allies, with combat
we also need
capabilities.
experience from them, though, right?
Yes, that is absolutely right.
So we want both powerful clerics and with connections. Or we could take those powerful clerics and then make connections for them. I mentioned Darf.
Certainly.
He could help lead a small militia in defense of a cleric.
Absolutely.
We could also contact adventuring parties separately.
Could you not just say, like,
exhausted our supply of clerics?
Yes, these would all work.
to all clerics who are able to cast Dispel Magic, please bring your own party or something like that?
I can't be that specific.
BYOP, bring your own party.
I can't be that specific, but I can specifically try to contact some adventuring parties. So I think what we'll do, we'll bump it up to Dispel Magic, so everybody gets that, right? At 5th level.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So we'll go for any cleric who can Dispel Magic. We'll bring them all to Wicthorrenta, and once we've exhausted the supply and our messages start going out to 0 clerics because we've contacted them all, we'll start going after adventuring parties, and I'll figure out how to word that one at good experienced groups.
Okay, so you're gonna send out the message, which is dire need.
Yeah, dire need, demon problem, or dire need, demon invasion at heat. I don't think I can say at heat stroke, but they have the general situation, right? Like demons invading Arcadia, dire need solution, stuff like that.
Okay. And then you'll send this out, and you're gonna do 4 a day.
4 a day is what we can do. So 40 clerics per day.
A while for this to reach everyone, and then it'll take a while for them that are 5th level above. Yeah, I think very broadly, every town will have a 5th level cleric, broadly speaking. Not villages, but proper towns.
Okay.
And then there will be some adventuring 5th level clerics, and then like large towns or cities might have a couple 5th level clerics. So we're going to be talking on the order of a few hundred people will probably be contacted by the spell.
Okay,
maybe
so
100 people.
Okay, so like half a week maybe then, because we can do 40 per day.
Oh, you can do 40. It's not 4 per day. It's 4 castings.
Up to 10 people per cast, and we can do 4 castings.
Yeah. So it'll be like 3 or 4, maybe 5 days of casting to get this done.
And then once we hit the 0 point for all clerics, I'll formulate a new target to get some experienced adventuring parties.
And then it'll probably take a couple weeks for them to gather, right? If someone wants to come from Weatherlight, it might take them a month to get to you, or a couple weeks to get to you.
Because we're going to be researching the spell, and Malachi needs to start fabricating crystals. So we have some setup to do, so the travel time is fine.
Perfect. This is coming together. Okay.
In the days that I'm studying up there, can I cast some clairvoyant spells on the seabed outside of Heatstroke?
Yes.
try and get a glimpse, because I know that the flesh seems to block clairvoyance, or maybe it's just Heatstroke Temple, but I'll trial and error it a bit to try and...
Okay, yeah, so you're up there... Well, you're learning for 10 days. It's after your spell learning you can do these clairvoyances.
No,
you don't want to be...
cast them. It's just a 10-minute break, isn't it?
I get maybe. I always think that like the process of learning magic and researching these things is fairly consuming. I'm not saying it's impossible, but you know, maybe it's fine. I guess if it's only 10 minutes a day, you only have so many castings of clairvoyance, right? Yeah.
I could have 3. I mean, I've cast a lot of spells whilst learning spells.
Yeah, it'll be fine. It'll be fine.
So I don't know if we need to detail it. I try and just work out how deep the sea is at the point where the flesh ends and how far it extends from the coastline.
Yeah, the flesh does extend underwater, but it doesn't go very far.
Yeah. Okay.
It gets maybe, I don't know, a few hundred feet at most.
So how deep is the ocean at that point?
Tens of meters.
Okay, so it's not too bad. It's still relatively shallow.
Probably not even tens of meters, probably like tens of feet. 40, 50 feet at most. Cool. At most, yeah.
All right, with that knowledge, I continue fabricating. I start thinking about what I'm going to make this, the thing out of. And maybe I'll send a message to Van and ask him if it matters what material I use to construct the...
Oh, it's definitely going to matter. Yeah.
The holding for the crystal.
All right, so you can fabricate a wooden bridge from a clump of trees, a rope from a patch of hemp, clothes from flax or wool, and so forth. Okay, so you would need one type of material, and then the idea of the shape. Articles requiring a high degree of craftsmanship, jewelry, swords, glass, crystals cannot be fabricated unless the wizard is otherwise has great skill in the appropriate craft.
Yeah, so this is just a holder for the crystal. It's not... I'm not cutting the gems with this.
Right.
And even if he only makes the general shape, somebody can fine-tune any sort of like holding slot.
Okay. So I think while you coordinate with Van, you can teleport back and forth or whatnots. I think you're going to find that you're probably going to need like a structure to protect the crystal, and then there's going to be a special thing that's going to need to hold it. And the exact like holding thing is going to need some special craftsmanship so that it doesn't so it like so it holds secure. The crystal just right, and you don't want like the fabricate if the thing is made with fabrication, there might be some residual magic and you don't want it to interfere with the crystal magic.
Yeah. Okay.
So you're gonna need like a craftsman.
I can make the broad holder, but maybe I can speak to the dwarves to help me make the...
You can make the structure, and then you're gonna need someone to make the like actual container, or the actual like a prop pedestal thing. Okay. Which just means that you'll have to, these things will probably have to be built in place. And since they are going to not be
built in place, really?
Well, how big are they going to be? Let's talk about that. How big of a holder do you want to contain these crystals? Do you just want something to keep the rain and weather away, or do you want like an actual building that someone can stand inside? Are we talking small little shrine or like great structure? You can do a cubic yard per level.
Right.
All right, yeah. If you just do a little shrine thing, you could easily build it and transport it there.
Yeah,
I didn't know if you wanted like a small house for each one, or
it'll be too
just
dangerous.
Something to protect it.
If I have to do it in a situation like at the place, it's going to be dangerous, right? I'm going to be there for weeks.
Well, one fabricate per
day. Well, per 2 per day if Van was there.
Place, yeah.
Is 8 one enough to build a big house?
I think with 1 cubic yard per level, and you're level 9?
Yeah.
9 cubic yards is a shit ton of space. That's a 6 by 6 by 6. No, 4 cubic yards is 6 by 6 by 6. 9 cubic yards would be 12 by 12 by 6. So you've got plenty of space.
12 by 12 by 6. 12 by 12.
Yeah, a cubic yard is a lot to work with.
A cubic yard is a lot of space.
3 foot by 3 foot cube, right?
Mm-hmm.
More or less.
Because you could have like a 9 yard tall thing that's also a yard on either side.
And
but
if the inside is hollow, you got plenty of space.
You need to get stone or wood up there though to do it.
Yeah.
Right. I'd need to
Yeah.
have a shitload of like stone there to be able to do it.
You would
I think
need
it's
some
easier
sort
to
of
do this.
tool, unless you wanted to build it out of like earth itself.
Yeah. I assume we're gonna
Okay.
make it out of like brass or something. Was my thinking.
Yeah, I'll just do
Okay.
a smaller one, Neal, that I can transport. I think that's
Sure. What do you want to doodle me a picture of what you want to draw, of what you want to make? Because we're gonna want to know what this stuff looks like and how it functions in case that ever does come into question, if it's ever attacked, if we ever need to talk about fine details. We're gonna want to know what this
we'll go
looks
back to Sean
like.
for a bit. Let me.
Sure. I've given you a blank map on which you can
Yeah,
doodle if
so-
you'd like. So back to Sean.
Yeah, so
You've
I'm gonna
got-
talk with Eliza here about ways that we could target adventuring parties with this message, so that we don't want to pull in green adventuring parties. I was once a green adventurer, and I don't think they're up to this task.
Yeah, and you're probably going to have a whole bunch of people who are like, I can fight the demons, and then you're surrounded by
Right.
shitty first level fighters and thieves who
Yeah,
like go
so
around
we're-
stealing shit.
Yeah, we're looking for people with content. Maybe a message, or maybe this thought wave isn't the way to do it. Maybe we should just speak to the queen. She has a number of knights on retainer. I imagine many of them would have combat experience.
Mm-hmm.
Probably leadership skills too.
Mm-hmm. But the kingdom is in the middle of a war against
That is true.
Mystria, and as you will discover, I don't know if we've talked about it in a little while, but the war has sort of taken a quick turn. The cities of Bridgegate and Ralwick, which I can ping us to. Sorry to take away your little doodle, Nick. The cities of
that's fine.
Bridgegate and Ralwick have been burned by dragon fire. Bridgegate's bridge has been knocked down, its walls set aflame. Not entirely destroyed, but like badly damaged. Same thing with Ralwick. Surrounding town and countryside set afire. Walls of Ralwick burned. The dragon then like kind of peaced out near the end of the year and vanished as it was attacking and raiding and destroying things. But the invasion of Mystria has sort of been turned back. There's like a small outpost in the ruins of Dawngate trying to hold on. And
Okay.
the war has
I'm
sort of
not-
shifted, and the queen's a little concerned about
Right. Okay.
that.
Lucilla, you have a number of years of experience. I imagine you have many.
What are you saying? Are you calling me old?
No, I was trying
it
to
was
say
a
that you.
joke.
Okay.
Lord, my lord, I'm sorry. I shouldn't try.
No, I need to work on my. It's been a grave few months. I should work on bringing my sense of humor back. But you have a number of contacts, I imagine. Other knights who you worked with in the past.
Yes.
Do you know any who wouldn't be currently preoccupied with the war?
There are a few retired individuals I could find, yes.
Okay. The leadership skills are a big thing. People who can help people keep their nerves. But I'm trying to think of a good way to word. See, when the point where we started to come into our own as adventurers was when we started killing horrifying things without dying, right? Like we killed a chimera at one point. But I can't just narrow it down to adventurers who have killed chimeras, because there's other things that you could have killed that would also be great feats that establish you as a powerful and capable fighter. I need a specific way to word that.
So how do you find a phrase that encompasses the people you want?
Yeah, is because it can't be like I could list off a bunch of monsters that they could have killed to become qualified, but that seems like a very ham-fisted solution.
Can you qualify someone by their intent or their desire?
Is there a formal concept of a blade master?
Ooh, yes, there is.
We could search for people who have mastered a weapon. Pull them in with some of your retired knights. We get people who both know how to fight and people who know how to lead.
She nods enthusiastically. Yes. We could pull blade masters for warriors. And then have them lead your clerics.
Essentially protection, yes.
Blade Master. Or Weapon Master.
Weapon Master? Okay.
Someone, yes, there are a few
excellent.
people who have truly mastered weapons here.
Well, if there are many in the continent, they'll be hopefully coming soon.
I think this will work.
Yeah, I'll let Eliza know about that plan of contacting Blade Masters. Or Weapon Masters, I guess we'll go for it, because you can master more than swords.
She digs that idea too, because that will mean you would have had to spend 3 proficiency slots on your weapon to have mastered it. That will get you at least 5th level fighters.
You have to be at least 5th or 6th to get mastery in the first place.
5th is technically the minimum, but realistically it's going to be 6th level.
Okay.
Because very few people are actually going to save their slots.
High mastery is the one that says 6th.
Yeah.
Okay.
So Weapon Master will get you 5th or 6th or 7th level people.
Okay, perfect. And then we're gonna have probably a surplus of clerics who can help out with casting some lower level spells to protect them as well.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah. So I'm gonna target some Weapon Masters with those thought waves. I'm also going to contact, or I'm gonna ask Lucilla about contacting her. Ask if any of those retired knights would take up this cause.
She will sit down with quill and ink and write letters, old-fashioned letters, to individual people she knows, and then hire messengers to deliver them.
I say I could send them out today if you would. It would be faster. I could say that you're with me if that would help.
No. They must see my script to know it is truly me. Unless time is of the essence.
It is of the essence. I might be able to get you a faster messenger so that you don't have to hire them.
Sure, that will work.
I have the messenger spell. Let me see how that works. Because I could get, if we have some fast birds, we could get it to them very quickly with that. Does not affect giant animals. Work on creatures of 5 intelligence or higher. Yeah, so if I have an animal within range, so she can find me some like eagles or falcons, there's fast birds, right? Then I can cast a spell on them and turn them into messenger birds.
And luckily, we are just past the end of Frofro, so none of the characters in Frofro will receive these messages, because technically they're all from Arcadia. Whew, dodged a bullet there.
Well, I think they're all... Oh, yeah.
It'd be really awkward to retcon that and have, like, by the way, Ferris, you get this random message one day.
Well, he's not a retired knight, right? So he's not a...
No, but he's a weapon master, right?
Oh.
He was a fighter with mastery.
Yes, he was. He mastered the saber. That's right.
Yeah, so...
Yeah,
I see what you mean. Okay.
Yeah.
Whew, okay. Yeah, so we start sending out thought waves to the Weapon Masters of Arcadia, and I can spend, I think I have 6 second level spell slots per day. Yeah, so I can send out 12 messages per day on top of that. Actually, 10, because I have to save the nap slots.
That's fine. I think the amount of time it's going to take to research this spell will be the limiting factor here. So you can send out these messages as needed.
Yeah, so I have Lucilla help me track down some fast birds, and then we cast messenger on them and have them send these old-fashioned pen and paper messages.
Excellent. All right, messages get sent out to clerics and to blade masters, weapon masters, throughout Arcadia, and they will begin to trickle in over the next few days and weeks. In the meantime, the quest spell is sort of understood in concept, but will take some time to research. Did we have an amount of time it takes to learn to research a spell?
It's 1 week per spell level, isn't it?
I don't think it's that long.
Basic time of research equals 2 weeks per spell.
Oof. Oh, per spell?
Per spell level, I'm sorry.
Okay.
At least that's for wizards. I don't know if that's different for clerics.
I think it felt like it didn't take that long with the greater tree, so maybe it's faster with cleric magic. I don't know.
Also, isn't a quest spell kind of just like given to you?
Yeah, we're kind of building a quest spell, which is weird because it's normally given by a god, but we kind of need it, and you guys are going to fabricate it.
Yeah, we're building a spell. It is really weird, right? Like, How exactly? I imagine most of the research time is basically sorting, because we're making the quest spell essentially. So we're sorting out the details with Cheese. Like, okay, so we need it to work like this, and then Cheese finally gets back like, okay, so you need it to work like X, Y, and Z, and then Van has to send out another message. It's like, no, it's got to be like J, Y, and K. And then,
Okay.
I guess
There is 2 of you working on it though, so that'll cut the
Yeah,
time.
well, the thing that really gets to me is that we don't know how long it's going to take because quest spells don't have spell levels.
Right. Let's just roll some dice. I'm gonna roll some dice and find out what happens here.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Okay. It's gonna take probably like 12 weeks to sort out the spell in all of its details.
That's fine. We have a
and-
lot of stuff that I want to do with the weaker clerics who show up anyways.
Excellent.
Okay.
All right, so Malachi's learned Fabricate.
I've sent you a doodle.
Oh, you've sent me a doodle. Oh, lovely. Oh, nice.
So that little thing on the top can maybe come off, so you can place in the structure with the crystal and then put the dome back on or something, maybe.
Okay, and this is like a pedestal height, right?
Yeah, I guess it's like chest height, you know.
Okay. Are you not concerned about like weather effects? Like, you know, what if there's a big storm and some like stick or like branch gets like blown into this structure?
Yeah, that's why there's a dome on top. To protect the crystal. Right.
Okay. And so that's not a like a glass lid. That's a proper like metal dome.
Yeah.
Or
If it's
stone,
thick glass,
probably.
it's also going to be really hard to break. Glass is pretty sturdy.
I'm thinking I'm making it out of stone, Neal, so.
Out of stone. Okay.
Yeah.
That'll work perfectly.
Because there's a quarry near Roxas, right? Well, they'll be digging for stuff and there'll just be bits of rock, just like.
Mm-hmm. There's gonna be a lot of rock.
To fabricate, yeah.
Rock is easy to find, especially
So-
in Roxas.
At 1 fabricate a day. I reckon I can make 1 of these a day, so it'll probably take me 8 days. And then I'll have to transport them. So it'll probably take a whole day to like go to the quarry, fabricate it, and then get someone to help me carry it back to town. And then put
Okay.
it somewhere, put it in the attic, go back the next day, do the next one until I've got all 8.
Right. Okay.
then I can
So
break them.
that'll take a day per each one.
Yeah.
So you can start collecting those in the capital, and you have started to collect your weapon masters and your
Yeah.
priests, and
Oh.
the spell is coming along.
We need to organize the holder for the crystal, so maybe I'll speak to the.
Van recommends you talk to some bell founders, or he actually offers to talk to the queen and see if we can commission some bell founders.
I don't know what a bell founder is, but yes.
They make
Okay.
bells.
Right. Yeah, sure. No, that's a good idea, man.
Yeah, there are smiths of all kinds. You don't even need to talk to the queen. You can just go talk to the
perfect.
people in the streets. So you can make your way to smiths and forgers, founders, casters. Not spellcasters, but like people who cast metal.
Yeah, so we'll ask around about somebody who can make the designs for holding the crystal.
Okay.
Well, we have the designs. Somebody who can actually make the actual thing for holding the crystal.
Right, you're going to need expert craftsmen for that. Luckily, you are in Wicthron Renta, one of the great cities in Arcadia, and some of the best craftsmen in the entire continent are going to be located here already. So that's not going to be a difficult thing. It'll just take time and money, which you have, actually. You got plenty of time and money while you do this stuff. Mm-hmm. Okay. Did I say 12 weeks?
Yeah.
12 weeks for the spell, yeah.
At some point, I say to Van that I did some scrying on the coastline outside of Heatstroke. It looks like the flesh only extends maybe 100 feet out into the ocean, and the water's about between 10 and 30 feet deep there. So
That's
it
good.
shouldn't be too much of a problem for one of your clerics to head down there.
Yeah, a little bit of water breathing. Or ideally water walking, if we can.
Well, the thing, the crystal holder will sink to the bottom.
That's a good point. Well, we're going to get every cleric that we pull in should theoretically be able to cast the spell
Yeah.
to breathe underwater. Some of them might be able to do free action as well, which would help greatly for their defense.
By the lack of flesh in the water, I imagine the demons aren't that comfortable in the water. So hopefully they should be safe.
Yeah, my guess is that they don't want to go swimming.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, what do they say? Vampires in running water? Maybe it's something like that with these demons.
Does the sea count as running water?
I don't know, but vampires and demons are a different thing. When we went there, I didn't see any water, did you? Just rocks.
The sea should count as running water, I believe.
Okay.
There you go. So, I think if we're going to get attacked doing this, it'll probably be on the land.
Aqua vampires.
My plan for the day is that the day of the thing, is I'll be a Pegasus, and I'll bring a couple of fighters with me, and I'll try and respond to any demon movements. But we can talk about that near the time.
Yeah. I'm just making some notes in my calendar, forgive me. So I know when all of these things are going down. Malika Van finishes making the demon holding spell. Let's see, you also sent out a thought wave to people at the end of the year. 1512, a 101 about, and Drekis. And that should be fine. To weapon masters and clerics, right?
Weapon masters and clerics. Is there anyone else that we should pull in? We still have time. There's plenty of time on the spell research.
Well, I think the idea is the weapon masters and the clerics will hopefully have the leadership skills to gather the people they need to help you.
Yeah.
Right?
Because most people aren't going to turn up on their own, right? Like, most level 5 people are probably walking around with some sort of entourage.
Yeah.
Right. If you're in the middle of like hunting basilisks for treasure, and then you get this like random thought wave that's like, "Help! I need your help for demon invasions." You're like, "What? Who the fuck is Van Helsing and Withron Renta? Am I dreaming? What the hell? Maybe this is a trick by the basilisk. They're trying to get me." A lot of people are going to probably confuse this for something else, which is why you need the like hundreds of people. It's like if you do like a poll and you call 40,000 people, but only like 1,000 people actually answer the poll.
Yeah.
That's sort of what we're doing here. Hardcore Heroes Pollster Edition. Okay. Why don't we take one more break?
Yeah.
Not one more break. A break here. When we come back, we will deal with the people you have gathered. And then hopefully for our last segment, we can do the actual moving and building of these structures.
Sweet.
We are coming down to it, boys.
Almost
so
there.
we will see you guys on the other side of our break. Bye-bye.